the sort of tough conditions out there? Talk us through a little bit of the match.
I mean, conditions were a bit easier than the other day. You know, similar to how it always is. It was pretty lively. Obviously, balls bouncing very high. But yeah, obviously a tough one to lose in the end. Having, you know, kind of fought hard to get myself in a winning position. You know, 4-1 up, and then the 4-2 game that I got broken was a tough one in the third set. I was up 30-love in the game and had a few volleys in that game that, you know, he came out with some good passing shots. I could have done a little bit more with the volleys maybe, but yeah, I didn't play a great tie break, so that was disappointing because obviously he had the chance to serve it out, and then I got back in there and didn't play a great breaker.
You mentioned the other day you hadn't played an outdoor match, I think 5 weeks. Did that have any effect, the fact that you had not played outdoors and now we're doing so?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the conditions here I've just struggled with throughout my career. I've never really felt like I've played my best tennis here. I've tried and had many different preparations where I've got here early and spent a lot of time on the courts, and sometimes arrived later, like this time from Davis Cup, and you know, obviously it takes time to get used to new conditions regardless of where it is, but I've just never really found a way to get comfortable here throughout my career, so it's a shame.
Okay. Andy, would you pinpoint that as being the reason for today's result, or would you say something else?
I think a lot of the results I've had here over the years, you know, suggest that, you know, I haven't played my best here. But like I said, I got into winning position and didn't take it. I think, you know, one of the reasons for that is because I didn't serve like I should serve. I'd serve pretty much, I would say my average first serve speed would have been about 105 miles an hour. I served no aces in 2 hours and 45 minutes match. You know, obviously have the capability to serve 135 miles an hour, but, you know, just didn't feel comfortable going for my serve. I felt like every time I went for it, I missed it, and I didn't have control on that shot at all. So, you know, that would have been the part of the game that I could have done significantly better, in my opinion.
And when you sort of get into the match and you see that you're not playing as well as you want and the conditions are tough, what adjustments do you make as
Well, I made adjustments. For one, I stopped going for my first serve. You know, I tried to get a higher percentage of first serves in, which maybe was not the best decision. But again, I did manage to get myself into a winning position, and also I started returning from way further back in the court. I was, you know, the first couple of sets I was standing quite close in. Was struggling a bit on the return, but I made an adjustment there and started returning much further back on the first and second serve, and that helped a bit. I started to return a little bit better. But yeah, I'd say that they were the two adjustments that I made throughout the match. I think with the return it worked, serve didn't work so much.
Not for one moment suggesting that you underestimated him by any means, which you can't obviously at this level, but did he take you by surprise at all, having not faced him before?
I think he moved better than what I thought. I found it difficult to hit many winners. You know, and a lot of times I felt like I was hitting, you know, good shots, and he was tracking them down and defending well. But I knew that he liked these conditions. Obviously the ball bounces up high, like on the clay courts, and it's lively. So when you play with heavy topspin, you know, it suits that style a bit here. And yeah, but no, I expected him to be tough for sure. But yeah, he moved better than maybe what I expected.
Last two questions. years ago, you did win in California under very, very different circumstances. But could you go into just a little detail and explain why you do feel uncomfortable here?
I don't know exactly why it is. The ball flies through the air very quickly. The ball bounces extremely high. I've done, like I said, many different things in my preparation. I changed, stringing my rackets like 4 or 5 pounds tighter than I was at the Davis Cup, which is, significant amount. Really, it's the tightest that I've strung throughout the whole year would be at this event, and I still feel like I can't really go for my shots. I feel like when I do, I make mistakes long, but even you look in the tie break, I missed a couple of backhands long, and then also a couple of balls in the bottom of the net. So it's I really don't know. And like I said, I've tried many different things, and just never quite worked out for me here.
Last one.
Andy, you never want to lose, but how eager are you now to reunite with your wife and baby, and seeing them, does that soften a loss like this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I see them in a couple of days, which will be nice. Go back to Miami, which is a place that I'm very familiar with and feel comfortable there. I actually haven't been back since the tournament last year, which is the longest I've been. I haven't been there for about 9 or 10 years, maybe, since I started using that as a training block for myself. So yeah, it'll be nice to get to Miami, see my family, and then hopefully I'm not necessarily concerned about how I'm playing. I do think I'll play better tennis in Miami because I played some good stuff in the Davis Cup, and I did a lot of good training, played long matches in the Davis Cup and here, and hopefully Miami will be a bit better. But yeah, look forward to seeing my family.
Thank you.